remember the last two things that I was going to say earlier on. All the way through this, we've been funding the tour, like people's train fares and things like that, taking poets from one place to the next, by selling raffle tickets for a raffle of the random. And Anita was arrived just in time to give me some money. So tonight is no different. We have our raffle of the random. We have several random items in the bag tonight, and with this being the last, they are all bigger items than we've had in any other raffle. So do buy a ticket in the break. Next up, we're going to have Derek Reid, followed closely by Mr. Chris Cantwell from Perth. So please, Derek Reid.
I was saying I've only got one Edinburgh poem, but I've actually got two, so I'll probably start off with them. This first one, Jim was saying he had a surreal experience over the road in the pub. This was a surreal train journey from Edinburgh back to Glasgow, and it's called On the 22:30 train to Queen Street, June 2010. Very long and exact title. The two women left at Falkirk High after discussing sotto voce 180-year-old gurus. They'd been to Edinburgh, which is madder than we think. Far madder than Festival Campery. Speeding through the night, it's darker now, but still glimmers, twilight at 11. I overhear inane conversations, none quite as interesting as the quiet ladies. This, the passageway between two cities, two cultures, two energies, and I'm in the twilight zone. Croy. On a train to nowhere, or Glasgow, Queen Street, whichever you choose. The next station shall be Lenzie. The CP guard confidently intones a case of disability resplendent, sense of humour intact. Not PC, not token. And soon I'll piss in Lenzie. But not in the station, of course.
I think you should try and piss in more places.
Thank you very much. I will. I'll piss in the clothes. There you go.
Sorry.
You can do it. All right. This one is called Summer's Promise, and in the middle of it, I'm in Edinburgh at a pagan festival, and I'm a Quaker with pagan tendencies, so you know, work that one out. It's called Summer's Promise. 3 snakes in a bed, 1 green, 2 brown, a real dream, shaking the sheets, unconvinced of unreality, not knowing portents of poison or omens of creativity, Kundalini rising, meeting old ones in the woods. Later in Edinburgh, the moots of moots, underneath Arthur's seat, not sleeping neath the stars, stone and paving, moving on in moving circles. Didn't join the spiral, didn't join the dance, but watched, unmoved this time, unmoved but somehow included, hands in Celtic knotwork, gently stamped. Perhaps building slowly, a rendezvous has been arranged at the Iron Horse or on Mackrimore or Isles on Iona with seeing stones for globes. A body painful at present, stiff sinews, jangled sciatic nerve flexes itself for sacrifice, opened out to receive whatever seed is sown in psychic touch. Whatever healing, electric with tongues entwined, the slow, quick, slow of future conjugations. The gathering of clans in circles, spirals, labyrinths, mazes. at midsummer fires, midnight light assignations. Stars, stones, trees and wood scent, the worshippers moving out in the warm air. Hands over fire, water, earth, cool streams, welcoming lochs, the magic replete, fulsome, generous, hot. Seeds into flowers, blazing, and the promise of whatever is promised in visions in the flames. This one, the jangled sciatic nerve actually turned out to be osteoarthritis of the hip, and I had a hip replacement last year, and but this is a sort of before the operation poem, and it's called Hip Jip. In repositories of bone pain, bone on bone, no rubber stop cartilage to cushion blows. I pothole round Glasgow in bone shaker omnibuses, disappearing down ruts, sinkholes, drowning in tarmac-bound lakes. In one I saw a shark, another hid a mysterious lady with a sword, seeking a ring and a dead fish. I make do with a colder dish, morphine silver soup tureen, a sheen of madness containing a jangled synapse, jarred, bone on bone, purpling between appointments. Maybe do a couple more, 2 or 3 more. This, I mentioned earlier that I was a Quaker. This is my sort of doubting belief, if you can call it that. It's called Lord of the Myth. Gandalf fell into the abyss, and by long-wrought magic returned as Gandalf the White, shedding the grey raiment of his dispensation, as Saruman stained the calling of his sepulchral light. Christ, bitter and broken, bones racked with pain, held the world in his broken hands, trying to his Lord and Master the forsakenness of the damned, then rolled the stone away on the 3rd day. Each takes their own myth and oblation, the example of story and well-worn paths to sacrifice and virtue, unquestioning allegiances, the blindness of unseeing hands and hearts. And yet, these stones and stories, bones and beatitudes, stubborn attitudes, long-held delusions, tricks of the light, point to something beyond the call of mind. Cold intellect, scientific analysis, chrysalis of doubt, wings stuck with pins on boards and labelled, the molten wax of dusty vellum set on fire. I know not what jots and tittles I believe, choose to believe, what test of fate I would endure to defend my truth. Forsooth, though, I know this, and know it true. There's more to me and you, thee and thou, constant lies, downright lies, holy cows, more to you and me than this fragile body, fragile mind, and bonds between our different lives in the invisible lines of time and space. I think a lighter one. This, I'm not very technological. I have got the internet, but it's fairly new. And I seem to have real problems with mobile phones. This is called Christmas Card Out of Season and Out of Tune. My new mobile phone blurs out the first Noel, given half the chance. I inherited this feature unaware until someone phoned me unaware of my change of instrument. Embarrassment declared and dealt with, I have now learnt to change the offending tune, since getting to grips with some of its salient features, but decided not to until the Christmas fever holds the nation in its wintry grip, round about September. Then I will change a "Sundaries a coming in," or some such slimmery ditty. The bus driver today, June the 1st, was whistling Jingle Bells. Maybe he's of a similar contrary disposition. He looked mad enough. Where's have you gone? A couple more?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Right, I'll do another fairly light one and then finish off with a bit of a rant. This one's called Something for the Weekend, Sir. Something for the weekend, sir. Sorry, I got it wrong already. Something for tomorrow, sir. A little glitter for your balding hair. A little lust on the back court stair. A preventative for the weekend lair. Something for tomorrow, sir. A little ginger for your growling jowls. A little spice for your grumbling bowels. A space for the race to mangle vowels. Something for tomorrow, sir. I think a pink feather boa and a pom-pom hat. Double-breasted suit and bright blue cravat. Violin and prohibition spats. Something for the future. Something for the past. Something that will never last. A word in the ear of an honest tutor. Something, just something to make us laugh. And this one, I wrote it quite a while ago, in 2010 in fact, but I think it's still relevant. It's about the Arab Spring, and it's called A Turn of the Dice. On Afric's shores a fire burns. Old statues of the living and the dead quake as revolution wakes the ancient scripts of tyrant pharaohs and new, less noble inheritors of Egyptian, Carthaginian, Roman, Alexandrian, Greek, Ottoman, diseased emperors of blood, diktats to the people to obey. Palms sway, camels spit, a handset twitches with sedition, twittering the rasps of questions, sounding coarse in dictators' ears who closed them, trying to confuse the sound, songs, signs of freedom, concepts still hazy, untaught, as crazy, power-fueled old men clutch at tombstones. Financial deals done in back rooms with the unchanging old guard, gold turning to shit, the oil slick of greasy palms. In Tunis, they're still blinking as the spotlight moves on, not sure what they've started. In Tahrir Square, they stay to clear up the mess, cobbles and camel dung, hoping that clear, fresh, free air is unsullied by a general's flatulence, a squaddy's fart. And blood gushes in the Gulf, turning tarry, mixed with hot dust, oil spills as a car race is respectfully cancelled opposite shallow graves of Saddam's wars. The West holds its collective breath. Armed dealers scurry, trying to remember where they hid the invoice for napalm and poison gas, natron for old men's flesh. The hieroglyphs are scratched on discarded bones. Care to roll again, sir? Care to roll again?
First, I need to speak about the inspiration. I'll do 3 poems. The first one is called 528 Hertz. It's inspired and I heard in 1997. I forget the day, I think it might have been the 17th of June or 17th of July, and it was the International Day of Love. And we had all these musicians tuning up their instruments at 528 Hertz. And they were even putting the amps into the C and just doing this 528 Hertz, because it's meant to be the frequency that your heart vibrates at when you're in love. that's what science says, and that's what artists decided to do. So, it inspired me to write this poem, though. So it's called 528 Hertz, and it's just about love, I suppose. I seen an American Indian playing guitar, strumming away with no strings. She sung a silent, ancient native song of earth angels with no wings. She sounded so beautiful, I felt her break my heart as tears fell down my face to heal and make a new start. All the animals heard and came to see what sound was moving the air. They stood and stared and smiled blind at this peaceful soul so rare. The eagles rose and soared and cried for this moment never to cease, of contentment worn all warm inside, knowing she's warring for peace. So we all joined in to sing her song, silent as a kiss, as strength rumbled in our throat and heart, and it went like this. We will never be beaten, we'll never give up our fight against evil, greed and darkness, for our truth, love and light. We see your lies and deceiving, we know you're robbing us blind, breaking our human spirit and controlling our mental mind. Yet they are the Muppets, wearing their caring false face, using us as puppets to poison this beautiful place. We will never be beaten, we'll never give up our fight against evil, greed and darkness, for our truth, love and light. The next one was inspired by the book The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I've never seen the Chinese version, but the English translation's about that thick. But unfortunately, I never took my library books back, so I wasn't allowed to take the book away, so I could sit there in the library and read it, and then for every question that's in it, if it's answered truthfully and honestly, then nobody should ever go to war. So it was inspired by, I wrote down all the questions that were in the book, or the English translations of the questions, and then, so the poem's actually on a page, so I've translated the English translation to one page. It's called Poetry is Going to War. Believe that poetry's going to war, and believe that it will win, as Muhammad Ali ducked and died, with an opponents in a spin. It is a clear-cut challenge I will make transparently blunt, as I have no weapons or scuds in which my war to hunt, only armed to the teeth with words and soft voice, to tackle them full head on, I winning with rejoice. Those people who murder and pollute, taking people's life, I now go to war with my pen as a scythe. Hide in your bunkers, oh hell, shove your pawns to death. Let nature repair and count your cost of success. Their meaning has no value, to me it's more abstract, and a purpose of life and relevance they attack. Just switch the telly on, see poison with irrelevance. Oil, water, metal or land, all killing for a substance. Now listen questioningly to the art of war, and answer truthfully and honestly what people die for. Is it for you and I lives are cut short, or nobles on high who never get hurt? Which factors should be fundamental? Which elements should I consider? Which taboos will I follow? Which strategy of war's rigor? Is a plan not an idea? Is an idea not a hope? Is a hope not an ideal? Are ideals which wars grow? Should I have faith in what I see? Should I reflect on what I don't? Should I build what's in my mind? Should my credence forever taunt? Will people continue to dupe? Will moments deceive and ensnare? Will adornments litter my path? Will finery trim my lair? I have found what I value, yet many will try to demolish. It's nothing to be seen, inside I nourish and cherish. I am a warrior of peace, and I will defend my land, and I will attack aggression with an open hand. I am a warrior of peace, and I will defend my land, and I will attack aggression with an open hand. I am a warrior of peace, is a word which inspires me. Peace is a word to show right and see, for every great man who held it inside. Is every great man I want on my side. Take your war, whether it be peace, believe what for and whether your grace. Always a boy and never a man, you'll never achieve all that you can. Peace is a word which inspires me. Cheers. I needed to write another poem for my daughter, so it's called Work in Process Part 0. A torrent of hurricanes spun still to the core, and the remedy of medicine was the tale of folklore. Now poetry is telling you a story with a glorious end, spoken, sung and whispered, how truth's miracles mend. Preceding the apple or the 7 dwarfs, before tsunami waves made Indian Ocean surfs, while ripples of lava amass many a mountain range. And a single cell idea is a concept far strange, for beginnings are the middle and conclusions a start, where fate of your destiny is constantly in my heart, and an empty bitterness of a modern pill, by a 4th dimension's magic and truth's will, like a chest of gold unlocked inside your heart, and a ghost rainbow of colours at every start, in all the things I've seen and magic unhidden, where love lives in memory like treasures forbidden. Happy tears with smiles speak what I can't explain. Please see in my eye where the story does begin. Your life is telling me a story with a glorious end, spoken, sung and whispered, how truth's miracles mend.